The day my own mom texted me, "We changed the locks. We don't trust you anymore," my entire life flipped. What happened next will shock you. Like and share if family betrayal cuts the deepest. Susan sent a message, "We no longer trust you." I responded, "Understood." 2 days later, their lawyer, Michael Hayes, reached out in a panic. Susan sent another message, "We changed all the locks on the front door, including the gate code. We no longer trust you." That sentence burns, no matter the years. It arrived at 8:14 a.m., sharp, like Susan had rehearsed it all night and finally hit send. I stared, not because I was shocked, deep down, I knew it was coming, but because it felt so corporate, so final, like I was being fired from the family. Then, as if the world paused to let the sting sink in, I replied without flinching, "Understood. Very smart. But you forgot one detail." I didn't wait for a reply. I opened the banking app and canceled the $4,800 mortgage transfer I'd been making monthly on their house, the one they gave to my sister, Emily. They said she earned it because she had grandchildren, while I only brought disappointment. 2 days later, a new message came from a different number. No emojis, no passive-aggressive ellipses, just an all-cap subject line from a law firm, "We have an issue. Please call quickly." I didn't call. By the time the email arrived, the event was over. Let me back up, stories like this don't start with betrayal. They start with love, or at least the act of it. They begin with a kid who keeps saying yes, believing it'll mean something someday. One day, they'll say thank you. One day, he'll matter. That kid was me, Nathan, for years. I paid their bills, solved their problems, carried the weight. They called for help until I stopped. That morning, the locks changed, but I'd already changed something bigger, myself. I didn't think I was just helping, I thought I was saving the family, the house, the balance. If you'd asked me then, I'd have said, "I'm just supporting. I can afford it." But it wasn't just anything. I'd been paying their $4,800 mortgage for nearly 4 years, like clockwork, an automatic debit, like a holy family tax. Add utilities, property insurance, internet, and emergency roof repairs after a storm tore off half the shingles. All on my name, credit, and money. No thank yous. My sister, Emily, always had a new crisis. Maxed out credit card? I paid it. Car needed brakes? I covered it. Daycare too expensive? I sent cash, just until she figured it out. 3 years later, she was still figuring. I never said no. Not once. I thought that's what family did, until I realized it's what they expected. The first crack appeared on a Sunday, scrolling Facebook while waiting for groceries. I saw the photo, Emily, Susan, Robert, and the kids in front of the house I paid for, holding a sign, "Home Sweet Home." Emily's present. Susan's caption, "So proud of our daughter for building a future we can all share. This home is in the right hands." No mention of me. No tag, no passing "We're grateful for Nathan's support." Just them smiling on a porch I funded. The comments were full of hearts and claps, "She's such a strong woman. You're lucky to have her. Incredible support for your family." My aunt wrote, "Emily, you deserve every inch of that house." I wanted to chuck my phone, but I just stared, like it was a bruise I wasn't ready to touch. Days later, I called the bank to confirm the mortgage was still in my name. It was, but the woman casually said, "Looks like a request was submitted last week to change the primary contact to Emily Carter." My heart stopped. "They didn't finish verification," she added. "But the documents are being processed." I hung up and checked my statements. There it was, $2,400 missing from my checking account, transferred to a card I didn't authorize, Emily's emergency visa I'd bailed out 2 years ago when she was temporarily unemployed. I messaged her, "Did you use my card again?" "Emily, Nathan, don't make this a thing. We needed groceries, the kids needed shoes. I thought we were still sharing." "No, we're not." She didn't reply, but Susan did. "Honey, Emily's going through a lot. She'll repay you. Let's not start a fight over a few dollars." A few dollars? To me, $2,400 was trivial, but when Emily missed a phone payment, it was a crisis. Then the group chat, renamed Family Circle, without my input. Someone posted a meme, a man handing over his wallet, captioned "Big Brother Energy, pay now, ask never." My cousin, tag Nathan. Another, "Yo, can you cover my student loans too?" Robert chimed in, "Only if you name your kid after him. Gotta keep the donor happy." No one defended me. No balancing joke. I left the chat. They added me back. I left again and blocked them all. But nothing compared to Friday. I was mowing their backyard, 3 seasons of free maintenance because, as Robert said, why hire someone when you're around? The mower sputtered, I took a water break. The kitchen window was open. I heard Susan and Emily, their voices clear, casual, like it wasn't the first time. Emily, laughing, did you see Nathan's face when I told Aunt Karen the house was mine? He didn't blink, like a puppy sniffing the plate. Susan, giggling, it's almost done. Once the paperwork's through, he can't say a thing. He insisted on keeping it in his name. That's on him. Emily, honestly, it's better this way. He's always been distant, like a guest with a wallet. Then Susan's words sealed it, he's not family anymore. He's just a sponsor. I didn't move. Water dripped from the bottle in my hand, like blood. That moment shattered the illusion I'd clung to. Not family, a sponsor. They didn't know I heard. They didn't see me walk away. But something broke, and something new grew, resolve, not rage. They didn't expect me to show up. The invitation came in a stiff white envelope with gold trim. Please join us in celebrating Susan Carter's 60th birthday. From your family. 60 guests, a grand venue, catering, a slideshow, a legacy event. I didn't RSVP or call. I circled the date in red and prepared. 3 days before, I printed a document, $311,115.84 in total contributions, mortgage, utilities, repairs, insurance. Each line item had dates, purposes, bank transactions. I saved it on a USB with the audio from the window. He's not family. He's just a sponsor. Screenshots of the group chat calling me a wallet. Photos of receipts. Emily's email requesting the house transfer to her name. If she owned it, she'd own the loan too. I messaged Grandpa William that morning. No reply. I didn't need one. The venue was as expected, white linen tables, balloons, a projector with baby photos and beach trips, waiters in black ties, cousins in cocktail dresses, Susan in an emerald gown by a placard, a house is not a home without family. I almost laughed. I arrived 15 minutes late, on purpose. Heads turned, some smiled, others stiffened. Emily caught my eye, blinked, forced a grin, and melted into the crowd. I sat at the back, unwavering. Emily gave the opening speech about sacrifice, love, true family. The screen showed the house, captioned, built with love, passed down on purpose. No mention of me. Susan took the mic for the toast, dabbing her eyes, gazing like a queen. I'm proud of my daughter, Emily. She's shown what legacy means. I'm grateful this home, our home, stays in the right hands. Applause. Smiles. Until I stood, approached the mic gently, and said, since we're talking legacy, let's do the math. The projector flickered. Susan's voice played, he's not family. He's just a sponsor. Emily's, like a puppy sniffing the plate. Gasps. A woman dropped her wine glass. I clicked again. The screen showed the group chat, tag Nathan. Only if he names his kid after the bank. Then the ledger, $4,800 times 48 months, repairs, taxes. If this house is Emily's, I said, I'm here to present a bill. Not a favor, a debt. I held up the 211-page invoice. Silence. Are you serious? Emily blurted. Dead serious, I said. Unless you want to call it theft. It was a gift. Susan snapped. Funny, I said, stepping closer. I didn't sign a gift certificate. I signed every check. Robert stood, ready to lunge. I faced him. Want to talk about the loan application you co-signed in my name without telling me? I've got that too. He sat down. Then the door opened. Grandpa William walked in, took the mic, and stared at Robert. You raised a thief and a coward. You tried to bury your son in silence. Mud doesn't hide footprints long. To me, the trust is yours now. I changed it last week. Emily's name is gone. More gasps. Susan's face cracked. Emily grabbed a chair to steady herself. You want a legacy? Grandpa William said. Earn it the hard way. He dropped the mic and left. I placed the invoice on the gift table, between boxed wine and photo albums. You changed the locks, I said, loud enough for the back row. I changed my future. I'm not your donor. I'm your debt collector. I walked out. No cake, no handshakes, no looking back. The celebration was over. So was the lie. The next morning, 57 unread texts. Susan, you embarrassed me on my birthday. You mocked your own blood. Robert, I don't care what you think you're owed. You won't see a penny. Emily posted a black screen on Instagram. Some wounds come from those meant to heal you. Comments poured in, you don't deserve this. Stay strong. Family will ruin you faster than strangers. They didn't know she'd called me a pocketbook behind a window. They hadn't seen the invoice. But someone had. 2 days later, a call from an unknown number. Nathan Carter, I'm Michael Hayes, attorney for your parents. Let's discuss a financial resolution. I stayed silent. They're not looking for a lawsuit, he said. They want this quiet. No press, no social media. They'll offer a settlement. Let me guess, I said. Half what I'm owed for silence? A reasonable amount, given the informality, he replied. I nearly laughed. Michael, I have every receipt, every deposit, audio of them mocking me, admitting what they did. I'm aware, he said stiffly. That's why we're calling. Here's the deal, I said. Full repayment, every cent, or I file a public claim with the audio. You've got 72 hours. He paused. Understood. I'll be in touch. Exactly 72 hours later, the wire hit, $311,115.84, labeled reimbursement settlement, no further liability admitted. Not from Susan, Robert, or Emily, but a private business account, likely a loan shark or a worried friend of Robert's. Even better. I printed the transaction, filed it, saved it 6 times. No thank yous, no replies. I wasn't here for peace, I was here to get paid. A week later, I posted a video, background clean, voice clear, some say closure is forgiveness. For me, it was a wire transfer. $311,115.84, the cost of 4 years of silence, obedience, funding someone else's fantasy. They called me a sponsor after calling me family. Now they call me settled. I blurred the account numbers, left the total visible. This isn't hate. It's facts. Facts come with receipts. The post went viral. Therapists shared it. Adult children of toxic parents saved it. One guy DM'd, it inspired him to cancel his mom's auto lease. I didn't reply. Robert left a voicemail, so that's it? You think money heals everything? You're not family anymore. I deleted it halfway. They changed the locks, I changed the terms. Now I live in a small, modern apartment with big windows and silence. No family group chats, no late-night calls for urgent help, no guilt trips masked as concern. People ask if it hurts to be done with them. It doesn't. I'm not done, I'm free. Freedom cost $311,115.84. They ask if I feel lighter. No, I feel clearer. Peace isn't weightless, it's grounded, knowing you're on your own side. They vanished, as expected. No calls, no letters, no we miss you. Just silence, not the kind that hurts, but the kind that confirms, I was never their son, just a service. When I stopped serving, I stopped mattering. 2 months later, I love mornings. Sunlight through clean windows, coffee pouring, no texts begging for favors or passive-aggressive guess who hasn't called their mom. My phone's quiet. My hands are steady. I don't wait for people to ask how I'm doing unless they care about the answer. When people say, but they're your family, I nod. Sure, like a cage is a home if you've never known better. I stepped out. The air doesn't demand proof of my worth. I don't tell the full story anymore, not until someone earns it. Reliving trauma is exhausting, not thrilling. When asked why I'm not close to family, I say, I stopped mistaking access for affection. That shuts them up. I used to check old accounts for outreach. Nothing. No apologies, no explanations, no guilt trips. Just silence, like my $311,115.84 was an error they corrected by erasing me. Fine. Let them pretend. They're good at it. They probably think I'm stewing, waiting for an apology, hoping they'll change. I'm not. I've seen them for what they are. When the mask slips that far, you don't wait for it to go back on. You walk away, no rearview mirror. Forgiveness? That's a blanket for people feeling guilty, wanting comfort without earning it. Forgiveness needs acknowledgement, accountability, regret. They gave none. So I give nothing back. My therapist asked, what would you say to them now? I thought, picturing their faces, masks of denial and deceit. I said nothing. I wouldn't. Speaking implies access. They have none. No keys, no emergency contacts, no shared accounts, no saved numbers. I erased their traces, not from spite, but necessity. That's survival. No fireworks, just locked doors and a clean slate. They might say I cut them off over money, that I was distant, unhinged. Let them spin their victim tale. They need fiction. I have facts. Facts don't beg, whine, or tremble. They sit, wait, endure. Like I did. Now I live. Not a fairy tale, not revenge, just life. Real, boring, mine. I work, rest, laugh when it's funny, eat when I'm hungry, not when I'm summoned to a family meal I'd pay for and be forgotten. Susan once said, if you ever left, we'd fall apart. She was right, they did. I didn't. I'm not broken, bitter, or waiting. I'm done. Not a warning, not a statement, a fact. Like a locked phone, a clean inbox, a number that rings once and goes nowhere. No forwarding. No comeback. Just me, whole and free. Thank you for staying with this story. If it hit you or made you think, do me a favor, like this video to reach more people, share it with someone who needs it, and comment with your city or country, your thoughts, or what you'd do in Nathan's shoes. Subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Your support keeps these stories alive.